Yo, we living in a world where the shadows creep. Got the government watching every move, no sleep. They got their eyes on us, trying to keep us in line. But we stand tall, ready to redefine. Who you calling when the system's gone wrong? Good citizen media, we the voice in the throng. You people unite, we the force that they
Ladies and
fear.
gentlemen, great to see you. Welcome in.
Crystal clear. What do you do when the man is corrupt? Can't call the law, they all in the cup. We rise up strong, we won't back down. Government watchdogs taking back the crown. Charges fabricated, they throwing the heat. Run us through the courts, but we can't be beat. They trying to silence us, but we got the truth. With every beat drop, we reclaiming our youth. Standing our ground, we the ones that they chase. But we push back hard, running this race. No fear in our hearts, we got the power to fight. Illuminate the darkness, we bring in the light. What do you do when the man is corrupt? Can't call the law, they all in the cup. We rise up strong, we won't back down. Government watchdogs taking back the crown. So when they come knocking, we answer with pride. Good citizen media, we won't be denied. People together, we rewrite the script. Standing for justice, we'll never be clipped.
Never be clipped.
So raise your voice, let them know we're awake. We the watchdogs, we got what it takes. The government trembles when we take a stand. Together we rise, united hand in hand. What do you do when the government's bad? You call on the truth, you call on the rad. Good citizen media, you people in the game. We the watchdogs and we ain't playing tame.
John Denicola. Brooke, good to see you guys. We got a show for you guys tonight. Are you ready? Yeah.
All you bad government actors, we see you. We're watching. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Accountability's coming.
What do you do
It's
when
coming.
the man is corrupt? Can't call the law, they all in the cup. We rise up strong, we won't back down. Government watchdogs taking back the crown.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome in, everybody. Great to see you.
Tonight's show is
we have Brooke. We've got Brooke. But the first one that commented was John. John beat you, Brooke.
John, gotcha. He's first.
He was first.
We got a couple special guests tonight, too, guys. We'd like to welcome Gary Reed. Hey, Gary. How you doing, brother?
Not too bad. I mean, considering.
I hear you. Well, and also tonight we've got another guest. We have Tom. Tom, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm good, Andy.
He's a little.
You roboted a little bit.
He's a little roboted. Yep.
Can you hear me there, guys?
Yeah, we got you.
Sorry, I'm in a metal roofed house. I probably sound like I'm in a tunnel.
No, you're actually good right where you're at. So if you leave,
I'm staying here then.
Right where you're at, you should be good.
Raise your left arm just a little bit.
All right, maybe I'll grab the roof and it'll be my antenna.
You know.
Oh man.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming up here today. We're talking about Rocky Ford tonight, guys. Rocky Ford and a few things going on out that way.
A few.
You know.
A few things. Where do we want to start? Where do we? I think. I don't know. Where do we want to start? Tom, where would you like to start? You're first time on the show, first time caller, long time listener.
Right.
Well, what do you got to say?
Well, I don't know where to start. There's so much to say. You tell me. Where do you want to start? I mean, it's just kind of crazy over here. It's like things are getting made and things are getting changed, and I don't know. I guess it's just people need to speak up and let people know what's going on.
Exactly. That's the whole point behind this, is to let
I
the
mean-
people know what's going on, right?
Yeah, we need our citizens to come out these city council meetings because without the citizens, I hate to tell you guys, the laws are going to change, the rules are going to change, and don't come crying to me when you don't like it.
You're exactly right.
Well, I do believe me and GCM have said it before, and it's not a new, we didn't make it up, but as long as it doesn't affect me, right? Like it can happen to my next door neighbor. As long as
Yeah.
it doesn't happen to me, we're good, right?
Yeah, but
NIMBY.
the other thing is it affects everybody. You got everybody in this town has a voice, and come say your voice, say your piece. That's why you got your public comment. They
But-
give you 3 minutes.
But Tom, rules are for thee, not for me.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
I get that one. You know how it is, good citizen. You people, you know how we get treated. Kind of like being the outcast of the world.
You peasants. I mean, you peasants. The rules are for you, not for me.
Well, hold on a second. We're not from there either, so
Let's put it this way: the last city council meeting was the most people I ever showed up about chickens. It was like chicken cluck cluck, quack quack.
Hey, to be honest, I left after the chicken discussion too. So
I don't know. Maybe we're gonna have a chicken patrol. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna have a special guy coming around checking on chickens.
well,
Right.
hold on a second. I mean, that is a very big topic right now, especially with the price of eggs and everything.
what about ducks?
That Rocky Ford is supposed to be one of those, what do you call it? Architectural. What did the word did he use? I forgot what he used, but it's supposed to be like farmland, right? Like
Yeah.
y'all are supposed to be outdoor. You're supposed to have the barn animals and whatnot over there, right? Like
Yep.
that's
Exactly.
that's the way it was explained to me. I'm a city folk. You gotta
Well-
give me a little slack. I'm city folk.
I'll tell you guys something crazy. I got a house out in Aurora. My neighbor has a miniature donkey and a goat in his backyard and chickens and bees. And, I don't even know they're there. They were there for 5 years till I even found out. So that thing wasn't crowing at 5 a.m.
So friends and code, you know the area that we're speaking of, right? So Rocky Ford doesn't allow pretty much fowl. Any like
Nope.
as much as it's agriculturally based out there, they don't
That's the
allow you
word.
to raise your own shit, dude. Like it's weird.
Thanks
They're
for
like, well,
leaving
if you
me
want to
hanging,
raise
asshole.
chickens, move to the country or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
now, right now in the town of Rocky Ford, they are trying to make it where you can have approximately a dozen hens and honeybees. So it's kind of an ordinance that's trying to push through right now. We're trying to get people's attention towards that, amongst the other things going on in Rocky Ford. But friends and code, the Rocky Ford mayor's been up on the show many times. He reached out the other day and said him and another council member would like to come up. So we've been working with Rocky Ford. Obviously, we don't agree on everything, but we're trying to get things out to the people. So yeah, that's it. That's what Tom's saying is like, Rocky Ford is such a huge metropolis that you can't have chickens there, but you can in Aurora,
Yeah. And goats and miniature horses.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
get that. In the middle of what is there, like 1 million people live there? Come on, man. And we only have 3,000 or 4,000 people in our whole town.
right?
Yeah. So, and Tom probably remembers this, but here a couple of years ago, I think it was over there on Beach. The neighbors were complaining about the guy's weeds, and I don't remember who brought in the goats. It wasn't me, but they brought in 10 or 15 goats and stuck them in the fence and let the goats eat the weeds, and they were trying to get it so that they could. I mean. That's taking care of the property in an ecological way. And man, you should have heard all the complaining and crying and these were just female goats. There were no males in it. Maybe some wethers, but they didn't stink. They didn't stink. And every now and
Those
then,
males stink
male-
so bad. Oh man, those males stink. I've
Yeah,
had a
man.
couple goats.
If you want to hear something crazy, look up what they do in Aurora in city parks. there. Cleans up the weeds in no time. I think they do it in Denver now too. Come on, Rocky Ford. Let's get in the 21st century. Let's get something going on.
So,
I mean, big city.
So just for those of you guys who don't know much about goats, a goat will eat every noxious weed on the place before they and elm sapling before they ever touch a blade of grass. And if you let them clear the weeds and stuff out and move them, you just have regular grass left. You know they don't pull the grass up. You know, cows and stuff will pull the grass up, but you know, goats, they'll eat everything on the place before they touch a blade of grass.
Well, maybe that's something Rocky Ford needs to do. I mean, we got all these supposedly vacant houses with weeds that the city spends all the workers' times on. Let's Gary, got a few goats?
Heck yeah, I do.
Maybe get some free grazing off the deal.
You know, I can't keep them in my fence, so I might as well just let them go. You know, they'll be happy.
I was going to tell you guys, Good Citizen and John and everybody else listening, guy reached out to me after the chicken thing. And actually, if you look it up, there's companies in Texas, I believe now, and other places that'll actually rent you a chicken. Get that, man. They bring out the coop, they bring out the chickens, they're making a fortune. The guy gets the eggs, and what a deal, man. Rent a chicken.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's definitely business aspects out there considering chickens and whatnot and so forth. You would be surprised that you
Oh
can
yeah, the goats.
a chicken.
Yeah.
Goats too, man. I mean, a lot of people actually will put together 15 and 30 goats, and yeah, that's a business. They send them out, lease the goats out per day, basically. I mean, it's
So,
but not in Rocky Ford. That
oh, heck,
you know.
oh no, they stink. You got to have insurance. I mean, we got to have probably a goat patrol and got to register them. And I mean, to me, in my opinion, they took an ordinance that, by the way, if Nick Martinez is listening, man, I kudo that guy. I mean, he comes up with some pretty good codes, but they wanted to meddle up the code, like probably 20 pages of what about insurance and doing this and registering this and doing that and paying fees. I'm like, come on, it's a chicken, man. Then the doves and everything else with the dove virus that they had that kill off doves. Chickens don't get what the doves have, and it's a common thing down here. These Eurasian doves die.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
And you know, the aggravating thing is 4-H is big on fowl, birds, doves, chickens, all that stuff. And a lot of that stuff is already in town. I mean, for crying out loud, Dwayne had chickens, right? Or yes, was it?
No, he had a white goose, bud. A big old white one. I called him out on that. He had a big old white goose.
But he also said he had 4 chickens, Tom. So maybe there was that and 4 chickens. But so friends and code, do we need a dog tag for each of the chickens? Well, that's where they're at right now. Actually, friends and code, that's where they're at in the negotiations. Do we need to have a registry? Do you have to let the government know that you have chickens? Do you need to pay per chicken? Do you need to pay per household? Do you need to pay at all? Like, that's where they're at right now. They don't.
Well,
they really don't know. It's.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. They are looking for every single way that they could bleed people for money, in my opinion. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's my
Chicken Patrol.
opinion. Because every time I turn around and I'm at these, or I'm not even at these meetings. I watch these meetings. And every time I turn around, it's, hey, we're putting this together so that way we can bring in income. We're putting this together so we can bring in income. We're putting this together so we can bring in income.
Yeah.
How much are you going to tax your people before they can't even like really live anymore?
Rocky Ford, the land of the fees is the motto.
No, it's land of the fees. FEES, land of the fees. Hey, I was going to tell you guys something. Did you kind of catch that on a city council meeting where I believe it's the mayor said that our city is the poorest county or city in the state of Colorado? Did you guys catch that? I think Gary brought it up on his show, something about, I believe it's the mayor brought it up that Rocky Ford was supposedly the poorest city in the whole state of Colorado, I believe, or maybe Southern Colorado. I might be wrong, but didn't he say that, Gary? I think he brought it up on his show. Or
yeah, so many times, and I agree on some of his fees because you know, we're at the bottom, especially, and I think GCM and you people were had mentioned that, you know, about Walsenburg. I think that's probably what brought it up. But as far as fees go for like like sewer and water taps. I mean, we're dirt cheap. I mean, there's no reason.
Yeah, we did point that out to him, and
Yeah.
like, hey, you're losing your ass, you know.
But the
Same with the quarter request fees; they're also behind on that. You know, there's different places they could raise their fees to be with other, competing with other places. At the same time, not raping the citizens over things that you don't need to pay for per chicken, dude. That's stupid.
but here's the problem, man. If you're saying we're the poorest city in the whole state, or whatever he said, I don't know
Right.
exactly what he said. But man, come on. If we're the poorest guys, how do you expect the citizens to pay all these stupid fees?
Exactly.
I mean, there's people here that can't even hardly pay their water bill and gas bill.
Yep.
Make sure not to mention anything about Lori. Lori's here. Hi, Lori.
Oh, hey,
Happy
Larry.
Valentine's Day.
Oh man, we got a full crowd tonight. We got Lori even. What's up,
We
Lori?
even-
It's Tom.
We've even got Mom's wholesale videos, wholesome videos here. I keep saying
Oh.
wholesale. Mom's wholesome videos. We also have Mom's wholesome videos here. But continue, Tom. I'm sorry.
What's up,
I didn't
Bob?
mean to interrupt you, man. We just got to make sure not to talk bad about Lori when she's here.
Lori's cool. Lori calls people out. Lori
That's what
tells
we tell her.
I love you, Lori.
Thing is, I see Lori stick up for me on Gary's show. You know, I've been kind of my opinion. I kind of been driven to the coals down. I mean, I don't know. I have people call me, threaten me physically, threaten me emailly, everything, put me on the spot. And it's just crazy because all I do is kind of just speak up. You know, it's like, hey, say what you feel. You got your 3 minutes. Then it turns into threats. I mean, and I'm sure you guys probably get threatened too, but it's like, come on. I'm just like, really? I've been disrespected so many times, it ain't funny.
Oh, we don't just get threats, Tom. The government pays hitmen to silence us.
Oh, yes.
That's how that works. So
Yeah.
like your taxpayer dollars go to try to silence us. And it's acceptable. We accept it. Everybody else accepts it. We just fuck around, you find out. You know,
Right.
that's
Right.
that's all.
Right? Geo knows about that. Geo knows about
Yeah,
fuck
that's
around and
right.
find out. What's up, Geo? Gray Dude. We didn't announce Gray Dude before, but Gray Dude's in
Gray
here as
Dude.
well. Don't forget about Gray Dude, and happy fuck the cops day. Yes, happy fuck the cops day. Shout out to Eric Brandt.
Speaking of cops, so did they forget to make an arrest over there, Gary? What the hell happened over there?
Yeah,
So-
I heard they let one go.
So I don't exactly know what went down. I'm a little frustrated, and Carol knew I was a little hot when she called me back after the show this morning. But yeah, apparently they put after the hospital, they let this scumbag out, and he's been home all week, and it's just crazy that after I raised enough stink. They went and arrested the guy and took him to Benton County. And an hour and a half later, he's out. He is out.
Hey, Nick.
$1,000 bond. Felix, the bail bondsman, bailed him out, which I didn't know that he had. According to the gal I talked to in Benton County tonight, she said that they have to have a bond before they will let him in. Now, I don't quite understand that, but I thought you had to go to court. And the judge is the one that set the bond, but apparently not. This did not involve a judge. It didn't
Well,
involve anything.
Well, to be fair, Gary, I think that I've been locked up before having a bond. That's kind of fucked up. Where does
Yeah.
that rule come into play? How do you get out of an arrest? So hold on a second. How many people have we seen get arrested for DUI off of the side of the road?
Yep.
And this guy literally, here, everybody. I mean, I've got the pictures up. This guy literally tore through Gary's house. This is his truck inside Gary's house. Look, the whole truck
Yep.
is inside Gary's house. This guy goes to the hospital and he gets released from the hospital. No charges, no nothing.
Hey, but if you film the government, they'll try to put your ass in jail.
Well,
Heck yeah, they will.
Well, I tell you what, here, let me tell you guys a little story here, and it's a get to know your auditor cop watcher. Okay. Back in 99, I was stupid and I ran from the cops and I got an eluding charge. I got the ever living shit beat out of me by 10 cops. 10 cops. And I got arrested. And I wasn't even drunk. I didn't even hit anything. I didn't even go through anybody's house. I didn't injure anybody. I just took them for a nice, slow chase for a tour of Southern
Yeah.
Jersey for a while.
Lori, he figured if he was free to stay, he was free to go.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, but I got beat up. I got charged. I got everything before I even had a bond. So how does it work, Gary? Do we have any knowledge of who this guy
Friends
is?
of code. This
he
guy
might be
tried to
connected
run.
to?
He tried to fire his truck up and fucking pull it out of the house. Gary will testify to that shit.
Yeah.
This guy ran. It's just he was stopped. Or
So-
he would have just
So what I and most of this is I don't have any verifiable proof, but I have had a lot of people calling, giving me the scoop on this guy, and yeah, he's a scumbag. There's reports that he's making drugs out of his dad's house. It's about 4 houses down from me here on 202, and so he's probably got a lot of cash, and he's probably of course. So Felix, I don't know if you guys know that Felix Rivera bail bonds. I mean, he thrives on that crap, and this is probably how the guy got. Hell, he probably didn't have to post $1,000 or whatever it is. I don't know what's the going rate. Is it 7%, 7.5%, or 10%, or what?
I do believe it's
10%.
10%, Gary.
Yeah.
10%, 20 at the most usually.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
but
take a
hey-
look. Let's take a look at what the charges were actually once he finally got charged. Let's see here. We've got drove a vehicle with excessive alcohol content. But how did they even get like a blood test? Did they get a breathalyzer? Did they get anything at the point in time of the accident,
And-
Gary? Did you see
and-
any of that?
So
And of
they
course
didn't-
he's uninsured, right? Like no doubt about that. Like
Well, yeah, and that's what we just found out tonight, that it looks like he didn't have insurance. But when
right, and
he
they
was
and they
here-
let him drive around like that, Gary.
yeah,
You see?
yeah,
If it was us, it'd be an issue. But
yeah,
obviously certain people get away with certain things, and this is where I get so pissed off about cops. Like I don't hate cops, but I expect them to protect my rights. I don't expect them to protect me, but I expect them to protect my rights. And this was your rights being violated, and then you had to turn around and be like,
Car was
hey,
up too.
what is going on? Like,
Yep.
I want my rights. Like, you had to. I mean, you have the rights. I mean, this was life and property damage.
yeah, exactly.
Those are your rights. That their only reason is to protect these rights.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on with that? That in itself pisses me off. Right, as far as it's the system's broken.
Right.
Again, they'll go find somebody who's driving around with no plates, which is a victimless crime, and they'll throw that person in jail, take their vehicle, this, that, and the other.
Yep.
But somebody like this who causes, they killed your dog, and obviously your property is not in the shape it was before the incident. So
Yeah.
you have the right and your happiness, right? He took your fucking happiness.
Oh yeah.
So
definitely took that.
so
Peace of mind.
geez, man. This is where I have the problem with the cops. It's like this is where they're supposed to stand up and be the heroes. This is where their job lies. This is their duty, is to make stuff like this stick, not go around road pirating people.
Yep.
And you're telling me this guy's never been road pirated on his no insurance?
Yeah.
Right.
You
well,
know?
and I'm wondering how he still has a license. Out in Arizona, after the second offense, you lose your license. You don't get your license for like 2 years after the fact. And you have to go through like major like driver training and stuff like that. to even get your license back. The amount of DUIs on this guy, plus it's his fourth offense, and they only gave him a 4th-degree felony.
Yeah.
That's the highest charge. Yeah.
Hey,
Right.
GCM, isn't 3 strikes you're out in Colorado, 3rd DUI, you lose your license for life? I thought.
You know, it doesn't matter where you're at. It always matters who you know.
Yep. That's it.
Well,
Sadly.
that's a problem we have. Gary knows
Sadly.
that.
Yep.
And the thing is, sometimes down here you really can't sometimes blame the police department because it's the judges. I mean, it's the way the system works. I mean, it's kind of broken in my opinion. I mean,
Well, I mean, Carol did stick
Hold
him-
on. Hold on, moms. If you look at 18.9.202, 18.9.202, it's about halfway down. It's a misdemeanor 1. He did take a life. He took the life of one of Gary's pets.
dog. Yeah.
So, I mean, he did take a life, and actually, Gary, if you want to tell everybody how lucky a member of your family was to even not be in the path of that, because I do believe he was right there just moments prior, correct?
Yeah. So about 5 minutes before the wreck, so my dog sits in the chair next to the exterior wall, and she lays there until Zach goes to bed, and then she comes to my room. So Zach was in front of the dog, playing his computer games on the computer, 4 feet from the dog, in front of the dog, and big screen TV. Just he had it set up pretty nice, but he usually goes to bed about 10 o'clock. So he had just got up from there and fixing to go to bed. Come over to the table where we have the rest of our computers set up, and he was sitting there 5 feet from where the guy came through the wall. He was sitting there 5 feet, shutting the rest of the computers down so we could go down for the night. And that's when he came through the wall. Now, if he would have come through the wall, 5 minutes after he did, chances are the dog would have been in my bedroom with me, and Zach would have been in his bedroom. But it just doesn't. It just frustrates me that how close it come to losing my son on this deal. I mean, he had been right next to the dog, crammed up in the corner of the other bedroom that the dog got knocked into. And that's the frustrating thing. And then for like the DA, Jim Bullock. I mean, that guy's worthless as tits on a boar hog. And how he got to be DA again, I mean, he was a DA and he term limited out a few years ago, and he tried to protect his job, and he politicked to extend or to take away those whatever they call them, so he can only have 2 terms or 3 terms or whatever. He tried his hardest to get that dropped, and the voters wouldn't go for it. The voters didn't like him. They said, no, you're out of here. And so now I don't know who put him back on. Polis probably put him back on there. I mean, Polis has as much to blame with this whole deal as anybody else, because obviously he's the one that in the last 6 years he's been on here have been appointing these worthless ass judges and district attorneys.
Sorry, Gary, I was on mute.
Oh,
Yeah, man, it happens. I was listening to you. I forgot I was on mute. I started talking. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a messed up situation there. Has there been any type of statements from the city or law enforcement regarding this situation, like past the incident? Have you heard anything else on it other than this guy didn't get charged?
so yeah, I've heard nothing. And Carol answers my questions. I'll ask her a question. She'll answer it, and But that's it. I mean, there's been nothing. And so GCM and you people, you both are at my house. And Tom, I'm sure, knows the situation too. But I guess the frustrating thing for me is I'm in the county, and the only thing that was in the city as far as this wreck was a couple of marks that where he was trying to make the corner. No brake marks, but where he was trying to make the corner. And I think it may have been a little bit different situation if the state patrol would have, because technically it's a highway. I'm on a highway on two sides here, and technically the state patrol is who should have been investigating this, and that's the frustrating thing for me is nothing against the Rocky Ford City cops yet, but
Okay.
I honestly think if it would have been a state patrolman investigating, I think things would be a little different. I don't think the guy would have walked.
Okay, so hold on a second. So you're basically like on the border, like you're on the other side of the border, like across the street. Seriously, is okay. So
The center of Second Street to the east is the border for the city of Rocky Ford, and of course I'm west of that. And then after you turn the corner and Highway 202 goes west, it's the same deal. Right across the street is in the city limits, and then of course I'm in the county right there on my corner. I'm in the county.
So did Ortero come out?
I never did see. Did you see sheriffs? I never did see sheriffs.
Okay, so no sheriff showed up on scene. It was city police that showed up on the scene. Did Bent County show up?
No, Bent County didn't show up. We're quite a ways from Bent County.
No, but I've seen them inside your jurisdiction.
Oh,
Me.
yeah.
I'm
right,
saying,
so-
I know, yeah, but I'm just saying maybe they came to pick him up for transport out to the jail, but then we
Yeah.
heard that he went to. I'm just trying to figure out what kind of law enforcement was there. I really wish some pictures or video while the scene was going on, so that way I could get a visual
Yeah.
of who was all there, because at this point I'm trying to figure out who's accountable for this, because
Yeah.
obviously somebody messed up. The guy didn't get charged, he got taken to the hospital, whatnot, so forth. So state police didn't show up, or Ortero didn't show up. Rocky Ford showed up, but technically they were just dealing with your black marks across the street.
Right. And so to add to that, the Rocky Ford City cop that did show up, when I talked to him about, who's going to do the investigation at the time, that Friday night, he told me that it was going to be the Carlisle State Patrol because it involved the highway. And of course, I'm in the county. And again, I'm not sure exactly what the state handles right in there, because this is a weird corner, and you guys probably saw it, but
Right.
I don't know exactly.
Yeah, but I've seen it. It's like a neighborhood, so you wouldn't even tell that the city of Rocky Ford had ended there.
Yeah.
It seems like an all right corner if you're not going 80 miles an hour.
Or drunk.
And remember, this is a residential street, and this guy had to be going that fast down a residential street. How much stuff could he have damaged, there?
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen it. He was definitely hauling ass, no doubt about
Hey,
that.
GCM. I just have a comment. I've been down Gary's Road before, and what happened with me is the city police handed it off to the state patrol or the county. The city police shows up, and then they call the state patrol or the sheriff and say, hey, you know what? It went from one jurisdiction to another. You guys need to come investigate the accident of where it happened.
Well,
And,
right. And that's where I'm trying to figure out where the chain of command should be. So,
Right.
so again, if across the street
Who had
is
last
Rocky
custody
Ford,
of him?
Right.
Like that's what it comes down to.
right?
Like,
So-
did they transfer custody to? Because I mean, Bent is obviously the holding facility for everybody. So,
Yeah.
like, had they transferred the custody to Bent, and Bent responsible, or was it still in the custody of Rocky Ford? Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
is
but-
where we're still stumped.
Yeah, but
Well,
then
was
we
anybody
also,
even in custody of the guy? Was he just sitting in the hospital waiting for me to be released?
Exactly.
And then, sounds
Well,
to me like from what Gary tells me, the guy was just sitting in the hospital, and oh, and behold, I'm getting out, and oh, by the way, here comes the paddy wagon to pick me up.
well, right, and that's where we're at. So we're trying to. That's what we've come to believe is that he went to the hospital. right? No charges were pressed. So if no charges were pressed, that's one thing. But we need to figure out who the initial law enforcement agency is that was supposed to charge him. So
Right.
it sounds like to me that Otero County is the one that should have been there on scene, charged the guy with DUI, and then, had somebody sitting with him in the hospital. But that never happened. He
Yeah.
just got transported to the hospital. No charges were pressed, and he almost got away with it.
Yeah. Yeah. If I had to run my mouth, he'd have still been at home.
Right.
I mean, I'll let you guys know a little thing here. My wife's brother was killed by a DUI driver. He's on his first day to work, and a guy pulled out of the bar so soused he couldn't even walk and hit him on a motorcycle and killed him. And so the guy was playing poor pity me. And what happened was my wife's family went to court with the helmet. The guy, their son was dead, and here comes this guy with the gold shiny teeth and all dressed up. And then he found out the family was there. The next time he showed up in a cane and almost a wheelchair, pity on me. And the sad thing is the way the law was kind of written, the guy got, and it was his second DUI. And I don't know, he'd hurt somebody before that, I think. And the sad thing the guy kind of walked away from the deal.
Yeah.
You can kill somebody in the state of Colorado with a vehicle and get less charged than shooting them with the gun.
Well, you can
Hey,
get more
hey,
charges for
a friend of
driving around
mine-
with no license.
A friend of mine named Eric Brandt said a few harsh words about his hopes and wishes, and he's doing 12 years
Well,
So,
and let's
for
not
words.
let's not forget about poor Robert. He got arrested for
Yeah.
chalking some words.
Robert's been about a year now fighting in court over chalk on town hall. Redress of a government. You can say fuck Trump all day, but don't say come slut dumpster. That's an arrestable offense, and you'll spend a year going through multiple trials on that.
I could have swore I've seen a lot of rhetoric calling Kamala a cum dumpster. So I don't.
No,
I
I'm
don't
just
see
saying,
where
Gary.
the
Like
difference is.
Gary, how fucked up, right? Like they came and arrested Robert with a warrantless arrest, arrested the man, took him to jail, made him bail out on 4 different charges for chalking, and now he's been strung on for months and months and months and months and months. Still hasn't made it to trial yet. But he's being strung through this whole process over chalk. There's no damage to nobody. It's
Right.
not permanent. It's sidewalk chalk. This
and
guy
hold
runs
on.
through your
Let's-
fucking house,
let's-
and where's he sit?
Well, let's not forget the fact that the DA has not been prepared for this case at all, not whatsoever.
Yeah.
In fact, we just got to pretrial readiness, and she didn't even have a witness list ready. Hell, she couldn't even get the primary witness to show up.
Well, look at Walsenburg, guys. All the people that got let go because the attorney was what was he trying to do? Put the sheriff in jail or something for mismanagement of evidence or something? The Solano
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah, he charged.
That was crazy.
Yeah, the Bruce Newman is still in contempt of court for tampering with evidence, but he's appealed it to the highest court in the land now. So, since it's under appeal, there's nothing that can be done to it. But he has been proven guilty of evidence tampering, the sheriff himself, and the judge called him a danger to the community. And he's still
Yeah, but-
sheriff.
Yeah, but Henry is also the one that never followed through with the hit charges that Tyra put on us either. So, I mean, I guess it's just who you know.
Yes.
I guess if you're buddy with somebody, cases get through. If you're not, some cases don't.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys. And I see you guys on Facebook. It's the name. I mean, they see you guys on there and they think you're a troublemaker. I mean, GCM, everybody else. I see you guys in town. I see your videos and stuff, and it's like, if you're a no-name guy that just walking down the street and do something, you're probably going to walk away. But if you're kind of the squeaky wheel, it kind of speaks up. It's like, holy manoli, man, throw the guy in jail. I mean, it's crazy. It's insane. I mean, You guys have rights just as good as I do or anybody else in the world.
So hold on a second, because me and GCM, we have one hell of a well, I mean, other than, you know, some stuff, we've got a squeaky clean record ever since we've been
Right.
on YouTube. We'll say that. We haven't
I've
had
beat
any.
every case that I've
Right.
had thrown at me, no problem, hands down. Like I just
Right.
got done beating this last case. This shit was self-defense, dude. You don't
So
put
how-
your fucking hands on me and don't, you know, expect that I'm just gonna run away or something. You know what I mean? I have no duty to retreat, dude. I will defend myself, and I was charged for defending myself, obviously, because they don't like me. Let's try to stick them with the charge. But
Right.
I mean, the court
But
of
we're the
law obviously knew I was not guilty. I was found not guilty, but and I've had multiple charges put on me. And I've, like I say, I've beat them all. They're all false allegations. So it's
Yeah, but
a lot of times they won't mess with me at that point because I'm smarter than them, right? Like you people
Well, we
smarter
just
than them.
follow
John's
the
smarter
law.
than them. We know what we're supposed to do better than they do. So they, you know, a lot of times I'm sure they probably would like to arrest us, but they don't. And we haven't had to sue any of them yet. You know, we have gotten a lot of change of policy, change of behaviors. We've removed a lot of shit cops. You know, we are troublemakers. If we find somebody that needs the trouble, you know, like I say, these people are put there to protect our rights collectively. If they're not doing that, then they're not doing anything in my eyes. So the ones that take it even further, they don't want to protect your rights. They want to actually violate them. Well, those are tyrants, and they don't really stand a chance, you know. Unless you get these sheriff positions like Jake Six and Bruce Newman, right? That's the people. The collective has to do something about that. That's not something that me and you people and John can do anything about. The people voted that shit in. You people voted Jake Six in out there in Benton County. So you get what you got, you know, like that. We can't change that. The people
Right.
have to do that. I can remove any cop from underneath Jake Six, but I cannot touch Jake Six. He knows this. He knows
Yeah,
the
well,
people have to do it, and he knows that the people there ain't gonna do shit. So far, that's what I've seen, at least. I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
the
the thing
guy
is,
had
though-
how many fucking prisoners escape? His only job is to hold prisoners for the whole fucking count for the whole valley. He's holding prisoners, and he can't. He just lets them walk out the front door. I mean, he's a fucking
I mean,
failure.
Well, walkaway prison, isn't that what somebody called it? Was that you, Gary, or is that GCM or you people? I mean, somebody called it the walkaway prison. I seen that online.
That
It was kind of,
was me. It's a Benton County walk away.
yeah. Check in,
This
eat
guy
lunch,
didn't
and
even have
walk
to
out.
walk away. He didn't even have to walk away. Think about that.
Mhm.
You know, like that's what I mean. Like that's on the people, man. As long as the people continue to let the minority or the majority be silent, then the minority is going to continue to be not heard, right?
Yep.
So, and that's it. I mean, we're the minority. It doesn't matter how squeaky we get until the majority decides that they've seen enough, you know. Hey, if they get tired of seeing us, maybe they'll clean their shit up then, you know what I mean? Get their act together, and then we won't have no reason to be there. You know?
I mean,
Or
people need to
you could
wait.
end up like Aguilar. I mean, they're pretty much like
Right.
the armpit of the state now. I think everybody uses them as a reference of don't be like Aguilar. At least we're not
Don't
like
be the water.
Aguilar. Like I heard in the last Walsenburg meeting, well, at least we're not like Aguilar. You know, like it's the ongoing joke is, well, at least it ain't as bad as Aguilar, right? But it is in many places. It's just not exposed yet. So
That's why we got you to expose it. People need to learn. People need to listen. People need to walk. And damn, people go to the city council meetings. You'd be surprised what happens behind the scenes. Holy crap! They're making laws for you that take an attorney to figure out what they even say.
yeah.
Well, that's as if there's an attorney there. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes the attorney ain't even there. I don't know what the deal with that is. I've never seen that before, but I don't know. I go there quite a lot.
Well-
So is Gary, and there's no city attorney there.
And there's laws coming down. There's legislation coming through trying to shut us down, guys. I mean, I'm not even going to bullshit you. It's basically coming down to where we're not going to be able to request the information that we're requesting. The only way we're going to ever end up with the volume of information that we need is by having a volume of people request it. That's what they're setting it up here in Colorado. Basically, they're calling us nuisance requesters. You know,
Yep.
even though we just want our information, we're a nuisance. So they're going to shut us down in the state of Colorado. We're not going to be able to request the information that we are now, especially
Well-
at you know, I mean, hell, it takes forever to get. We're dealing with Benton County still trying to get the damn correct information from back in October. Like their 10 days was up a long ass time ago.
Well, if you believe the lady in Pueblo thinks that every Cora request goes through a lawyer, and that costs at least $1,500 per request.
Yeah, I mean they're talking a good game to try to shut us down. And again, it comes down to the minority versus the majority. And if the majority isn't going to start doing anything, we're all in for some shit.
Right?
Yeah.
It's going to be dark out. That's what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to dark us out. They don't want us knowing, right? I mean, the requests that we've been receiving back from, say, Benton County, they're full of nothing. There's no information there. They're trying to say, well, we filled your request, but yet there's nothing tangible there. The information is not compiled proper. So they're trying to play a game with it, you know, instead of just giving us the information, man. We're just asking for budgetary stuff. For an example, we asked what overtime was paid out to the sheriff's department. It shouldn't be hard to give us a list of names and how much overtime they received last year. Like, that's not hard. You guys should be able to know this information, what you're paying your cops, right? And we're not getting it. So it's
still
only
waiting
gonna
for-
get worse.
You're still waiting for that core request from Rocky Ford, too, aren't you guys? I heard you guys are waiting on like a whole bunch of them. I don't know if they've sent them to you. I know you finally got the Gobin one, I think.
Yeah,
But-
that's a whole nother. That's the thing. We're requesting information all across the state from all different agencies, and that's all going to come to a halt real soon.
Well,
They're going to call us nuisance requesters, and without the people, this all comes to an end. That's what I see happening. I mean, they are most definitely setting legislation to stop us. Polis does not want us having this information. And as you've seen, higher levels of government, they're already trying to say you can't request information at all, period. So it's coming. I mean, they're trying to dark us out. They do not want us knowing what they're doing. And again, this simple information, man. What are you paying the cops in Benton County for overtime for a year? Period. That's it. That's all I want to know. They don't want to tell us because I'm going to guess Jake just lets those guys run as much fucking hours as they feel they need to because there's no oversight. Nobody oversees them. Right. And as we try to oversee them, we're just shut out and the masses allow it. So where does that leave us? You know what I mean? So as long as they vote for that idiot, it is what it is. Nobody's running against him. He goes unopposed.
Yeah, but he's term limited out this time, isn't he?
Colorado doesn't even
they don't even
doesn't
recognize
even-
it.
they don't operate like that, dude. All they got to do is say, "Oh, well, we got an ordinance that says they can run unopposed." That's what they just did in Walsenburg.
They just make an ordinance. This is all they do. Just make up an ordinance.
Newman was actually termed out. He should have been done. He's put in all his damn years, like 12 or something like that. And yeah, they just wrote him a contract and put him right back in. Like, weird as shit, dude. They said, "Oh, here's an ordinance. Here's a contract. Doesn't matter about the term now. He's contracted in." Like, what the fuck? Because he should have been gone. But no, not in Colorado. So you guys will be stuck with Jake Six there until he's fucking 65 years old, dude. Fat and lumpy. I ain't shitting you. Because nobody has the balls to go against him. Young punk ass Jake Six, dude. He hides when we come around. I ain't even gonna shit you guys. Everybody out there knows Jake Six hides when we come around. I've never seen the man to his face because he's a bitch. He hides every time I come around. I went to his department multiple times looking for him. I've sought him out while he was out working with the public. Couldn't get him nowhere. We've emailed, we've called, Jake Six is a bitch, dude. He just hides from the public. So if I was Seco News, that'd be a little different. You know what I mean? But yeah.
That guy gets
Seco News butters Jake's biscuits, though. You know what I'm saying?
we won't even comment on that one.
Yeah. So I ain't about to butter his biscuits, so he ain't gonna talk to us, I guess.
Well, it goes back to the same thing. I mean, Gary can admit to this. Look what the governor's done to us as a landlord, as our rights. I mean, Christ, you don't even want to go down that road. You can't even get rid of people.
Well, you got to understand though, right? They're trying to alleviate small businesses. It seems for years now, right? Doesn't matter the small business. They're trying to alleviate pretty well all mom and pops or small businesses. You know, we've seen that in the beginning of the pandemic. So, and they did a damn good job at the beginning of the pandemic. I mean, most people that survived that, I mean, they're very, very lucky to have. So they want you shopping those big box stores, man. Same with the rentals, right? They want you going to Dwayne's rental.
Yeah.
See what I mean? They don't want them going to yours. They want that subsidy money. See? Bust them in, house them.
Yep.
That's what I see. I'm not. That's just what I see. I don't know.
You know what I see? I see legislators passing a bill here that wide ranging between Cora and criminal justice records. One part that I see, the bill would make the first 5 hours of research and retrieval fees of charge to a requester. Currently, only the first hour must be provided for free. It also caps the hourly rate at $25 and allows a $50 fee to be imposed for an attorney's review of records for attorney-client privileged information. That's just one part of it. I'm going to put the link in the description in the chat here. There's a couple of different parts to this that it's affecting as far as
there's a lot of legislation that's there right now that, you know, and some of it's better than others, but it all seems a little overreaching to me. But I mean, like, we pay a lot of money for our Cora. You know, we're paying for Coras, we're paying for body cams, we pay a lot of money for this shit, guys. I mean, hell, picked up that body cam this week. That was what, $25 for just a short ass clip. And the funniest part about it is the cop's like, he's got TJ Bunker with him and he's recording.
This gentleman has TJ Bunker with him.
You almost gotta walk around anymore with a body camera with all the crap going on.
Heck yeah.
Oh, and I do, guaranteed. We have a nice body camera, dude. It's secured. I recommend everybody get them. I think mine came from Friends in Code, who was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still in here, but Friends in Code gifted me mine after I was assaulted by a code enforcement. He showed up to help me protest. Him and Otto the Watchdog. See, because we're well connected, man. We know a lot of good people out here that show up when it's needed. That dude put his hands on me, and so we showed up and protested. Friends in Code gave me a body camera. I've been using that thing for probably 4 years now, man. It's a great camera. They even stole it from me one time. They seized it without a warrant and then thought they were going to access it, but it's a secured body camera. They couldn't gain entry, and we ended up forcing them. It took 3 months, but we forced them to return my property to me. And of course, we got rid of a couple cops that day as well that, you know, didn't want to take the lawsuit, basically. Because not only was I wrongfully arrested, but I was robbed at gunpoint of my property. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I was handcuffed and the body cam was running. And that cop that pulled us over the other day for no plates, he's the one that took the fucking camera turned it to look right at his face and then turned it off. So the last thing on that camera is that idiot's fucking face, dude. He's a piece of shit, dude. Like, he shouldn't even have a job. That's why I was cussing him out like that, dude. Like, I don't just go off on a cop just to go off on a cop, right? Like, they have to earn that shit, dude. Like, that cop's a piece of shit. If I see a piece of shit, I'm gonna call him out. I'm not scared. They can be the dirtiest cop in the fucking world. I'm gonna call them out, dude, and I want to see what they do. Fuck them.
Well, and we talked about it as we were getting pulled over. We had a few seconds there. We're like, all right, good cop, bad cop, good cop, bad cop. All right, we got this.
Yeah, good.
Because we knew who it was. We saw
Dumb
who
cop.
it was when we passed.
Yeah, I flipped him off. I flipped him off when we passed him in the body cam. He's like, oh, because I drove past it. I flipped him off, and you can see him wave. He thought I was waving, so he waved. I was flipping him the fucking bird. That's why he pulled us over, because I flipped him off. He didn't realize we were in control of the situation. So,
Hey, is Lori still in the chat, guys?
yeah,
I think so.
Lori, you there?
she is.
Uh,
It's not
Just-
quite her bedtime.
yeah. It's only 7:00, Lori. You still got some time left. So I was going to ask you guys. We talked a little bit before the show. I mean, what do you think it's what's going on, Rocky Ford? I mean, it's just kind of a little crazy, isn't it, Gary and GCM and you people and everybody? It's kind of turning into like a little Wild West, in my opinion.
Tom, to be honest, Rocky Ford is in my opinion is actually put together decent compared to a lot of these towns that we're dealing with. I mean, as sad as that is, that is the reality that I'm dealing with. And that's including a lot of those towns out there near Rocky Ford, right? Like La Junta. La Junta's put together pretty well too, you know. Every place needs change of some sort, right? Like you can't just stay stagnant. But I mean, honestly, like Rocky Ford, I see is I love their agendas. Their meetings are good. The fact that they're public about them and we don't have to argue. Yeah, the cores could be better. Things could be better, man. But they're definitely not the worst in my opinion. And so I've been trying to work with Rocky Ford to fix these minor things that will improve the quality of everybody's life, right?
Right.
Um,
That just kind of rubbed me the wrong way at the last city council meeting when it was blurted out we're the poorest city in the whole state. Because I don't think that's right, really. If you ask my opinion, I mean, look at where Aguilar is and Walsenburg and everybody else. And I kind of did a little research on that. And you look at different websites and they say one city's poor and the other city's poor, but I must admit, I mean, our public works guy over there that's running public works, I mean, he's trying. I mean, his hands are kind of tied getting stuff done. I mean, they only have so much money in the budget, but I mean, like I told the city manager, Stacy, and I told everybody else, you can't dwell on the negatives. You got to kind of promote your city with the positives. I mean, we got a new public service building and I mean, we get the streets paved and,
I see a lot of positives there. Yeah.
Don't dwell on the negatives, and what kind of upsets
but the
me.
negatives have to be addressed, Like
right.
You
But
can't ignore them.
And the public guy, I mean, how does it look when you come out and say you're the poorest city in the whole friggin' state? I mean, seriously.
Well, and I don't know where that article, who wrote that article or whatever. Obviously, it surfaced, it came up. Maybe that was even meant to spike some people's attention, but I guarantee you, they're not. Like this is what we do, Tom. We go from city to city.
Close.
Our very first introduction to every single town is, let me see last year's budget. Give it to me now. And we want it right now. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter if we got to pay $250 or whatever for it. We want the budget right now. Like we got Rocky Ford's budget last year when we was there from the year prior. Okay. Granted, the process didn't work the way it was supposed to. They failed their audit. Again, we're trying to work forward with that, so next time we go in there and request something that's readily available, we actually get it.
Remember,
2 weeks later,
Pagosa wanted $50 for their budgets.
Yeah, like it. So this is what we do. So we get these budgets, and I'm telling you right now, like Aguilar, for example, is guaranteed poorer than Rocky Ford. Like Aguilar doesn't even have enough money to support its damn self, dude. Like, period. I mean, it can barely afford its own infrastructure, let alone Yeah.
Hell,
And the people there are all on mostly disability, so that there is no real
Right.
income.
well, and there's no real job opportunities. There's
Right.
no
No
real
commercial,
business.
nothing.
So I mean, there's
guarantee-
only like 5 businesses in town.
whoever put that article 99.1 or whatever that put it out there, I don't know, maybe it was for clicks
Shock
or
value.
something. Yeah,
Shock value.
because I don't agree with it just from our knowledge on it. I mean, like I
Right.
say, we know the budgets. You can always tell a lot just by getting a town's budget, man. Because
So
they're
I'm going to pop in here real quick. I think in today's climate, and political climate especially, you can search. It's just like the Bible. Whatever you want to do, you can go somewhere and you can find a passage that's gonna back you up, and or tear your neighbor down or whatever. And so, just to add to this article, and I tried to pull it up, and I don't know. I think I lost interest in it, but I had at one point here a couple months ago, and it was basically the same style article, and the poorest cities in Colorado, and La Junta actually made the list, and that
it
was the
was
only one
like in
even
the top
close
5.
to us. So I don't even, I don't know where this stuff comes from. I think you got a lot of people out there that's just putting a bunch of crap in, and of course, everybody they have their own little metric system of how they decipher this, and they give for people on people on HUD, and they give points for older people, and it's a jacked up deal, but there's no doubt in my mind, wherever you want, you're going to find something to match what you want. Now, why Dwayne even brought that up, I don't even know.
Yeah, it's out of
it's
the
just
blue.
crazy. He would have.
Well, the other thing I like to say is, this homeless shelter or homeless transition place that they're making. I mean, if they think we're poor now, how's that going to look in the public eye? Dump them in Rocky Ford. They take all the homeless people in the world.
Yeah.
It's like we become a dumping ground. I mean, nobody in the state of Colorado would take that funeral home, all that dead debris, and where to go? It went to our landfill, and then now we've got this. I mean, granted, it's going to be a nice building, but the problem is I don't personally think that's the way, in my opinion, that it was brought to our citizens. I mean, it was supposed to be I was told it was supposed to be an apartment complex.
Yeah.
And then later on, we find out it's basically a transitional center for the homeless. But the problem that I have is that going to be an issue? I mean, look at what happened in Bent County with the Bent Fort, where it was overtaken by a bunch of homeless people and shut down because they were cooking meth in there. I mean, from what I was told, and I might be wrong, this new building, there's not security or anything there. I mean, it's kind of come as you go. And I think the bar across the street, being close to that place, is going to have some issues along with the people downtown. And I don't know. I think it's just kind of a bad deal for Rocky Ford, in my opinion. I mean, it's just my opinion, but I'd rather have another business that, brought some taxpayer money to our city. And I'm not so sure we're going to get any tax out of this because it's probably a nonprofit. And
Heck yeah, it's a nonprofit.
Just a big set, just kind of a big. I mean, it's the tallest building in the city. It's just sitting there on the highway, and I don't know. I think the problem that I see is they're going to bust these people in from Denver, and kind of like Fort Lyons. I see them on Colorado Street in La Junta, pull up the van, dump some people off, and drive away. I mean, I've seen more homeless people down here in probably the last 10 years, wouldn't you say, Gary, than we've probably seen in 30.
Oh yeah, and again, it frustrates me. When they go to start counting homeless people, they need to count the homeless people. They're calling everybody that's out and about at night. They're calling them homeless people. So just like I said before, Carol said that we have about 15 homeless people at any given time.
So you
guys
guys
have about 5 people that are transitional, and then we have. When I say transitional, I mean they're walking through. They're just using us for a couple of nights or maybe a week or whatever to kind of replenish and go. And then we have that other 15 crackheads are right around.
You're missing the business model, Gary.
Yeah.
Right.
That's an apartment complex, and we're going to give each of those homeless 12 chickens. That way
Yeah.
they can
Yeah.
get back on their feet. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they'll have chickens in the back. Maybe they'll have a chicken coop.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to
Give
get a
them something to do all
community
day.
chicken coop out there, 12 chickens each, and they'll be able to sell the eggs, get back on their feet.
Yeah.
I
So
wonder if they'll have a white goose too. Maybe they'll get a goose over there. Quack quack. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, what's he going to do about the goose? See, because that's not in there. Fowl is
Yeah,
excluded.
yeah.
I noticed that fowl is excluded, right? Which
Who-
is
who-
weird
who
because I
knows?
think a chicken is fowl, but it says fowl excluded, right? So I'm not sure how that looks, but I don't think it includes ducks or geese
Nope.
or any of that the way I was reading it.
Just chicken and bees. What I read.
And he said 4 chickens, plus we see the picture of the whatever the hell that was.
It's a white goose.
Like,
You
Yeah.
can't miss it. The neighbors complained about it. I guess that's what I was told. I mean, I don't know. That goose was pretty damn big in my book. A blind man could have seen it from the alley.
So Tom, were you sneaking around the alley taking pictures? That's what it sounded like.
Oh yeah, I was sneaking down somebody else's alley. Just remember, the alley's public property. You can sneak down all you want down the
Yeah.
alley. I mean,
no, that's Dwayne's alley. He
Is
said
it-
in the
is
meeting
it
he's seen
sneaking?
you in his alley.
Is
Yeah,
it
I hate-
sneaking if you walk down the alley and just take pictures?
I don't know, man. I mean, I didn't know that it was personal alley. I know.
Me neither until I heard it in the meeting when he called you out and he said,
I
I
know he
seen
called
you
me out
walking
with
down
that
my
one.
alley.
With the
He-
flashlight.
He used possessional words of it. That was my alley. See,
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean,
It's crazy. I mean, I hope he fits the
Mine-
pothole if it's his alley. I mean, there's some few potholes back there. You might want to get some shovels.
Well, wait till he gets those 360 degree cameras to put on the trash
ATL.
trucks.
that's
Oh
right.
yeah, I heard about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so the trash trucks are going to be set up to spy on the citizens. I thought that was pretty wild.
Yeah.
So the trash trucks will get you for anything in your yard or whatever. As the trash trucks go around, they're going to have cameras on their trucks to observe not the workers as much as the community. And then they want to be able to replay back that video and be like, well, Tom's had that wheelbarrow sitting in his front yard for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We need to find him. Like, the trash truck said so. Look, here's the proof.
Yeah.
So that's
but-
where you guys are looking right now, Big Brother wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And it's,
here's the
Right.
Here's the deal, guys. I had a rental house, and the neighbor had a camera on the house, and it was kind of pointing towards the lady's bedroom. And next thing I know, I get a call from the sheriff's department. You can't be doing that. It's an invasion of privacy. And I'm like, I kind of could see that. I mean, so I had to go talk to the tenant and say, hey, point at the street, point at the backyard, but you can't point at the lady's living room window or her bedroom window. And so is the trash truck going to come by? Maybe I'll be outside naked walking, late at night, or maybe walking in my upstairs thing. I mean, is that an invasion of my privacy? I mean, it kind of is. I mean, maybe I
Right.
should give them a show. If they want to look at me,
do it
I'll-
like it was the Google car coming, Tom. Just go out and strike a fucking pose.
Man, I just set out my driveway.
I
Oh, it's
would.
trash day. I'm going to be out here naked. I'm naked in
No
my
shit,
driveway,
right?
guys. Come and arrest me.
Yeah. There's a new fad. They sun bleach their butthole, Tom. maybe you needed.
Hey, if I,
don't take my ideas, Tom. Don't.
you've
take
seen
mine.
that guy on the news that put the
Don't-
big wooden
don't
finger
take his
alongside the
idea.
highway.
yeah.
Did you see that on the news where the guy put the big wooden finger on the highway because they
Yeah.
wouldn't let him develop his lot, and so he builds like a 40-foot
Lots of
wing
people
wooden
do it.
finger?
Lots of people
Yeah.
do it. I even did something to that effect at one point in time in Orfano County. Free speech.
Yep.
Yep.
Maybe I'll get a.
And they hate it. They hate it when people invest their time, money, and energy into saying "fuck you." They really hate that.
Maybe
do.
Gary, we should think about free speech. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you could put something over there with the DUI sign. Stop. Check out the DUI. What did you call it? The hostage crisis, day 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't know how close we're coming to that because I have a whole shitload of sign supplies, and of course we have the sign equipment, and Yeah, I'm going to put a big asshole sign out there that says, "Thank you, Freddie Estrada, for making my house a drive-in, you fucking asshole, and killing my dog."
I
You
told
prick.
Gary, I told him you're supposed to have the no drive-through sign up first.
Yeah,
If there's a sign up, then you have to follow the sign. Like every time we go in the government offices and you see those signs that say no recording or
no weapons.
there's a sign. There's a sign, so you have to follow it, right?
and that's
Well,
Like
That's
Sugar
like
Sugar
Well,
City. The sign says no cursing. The sign
Yeah.
says no cursing.
The sign
that's like-
says no cursing. The sign says no cursing, but Gary, I think I know what song this guy was listening
Yeah,
to.
he
Are
had
you
a
ready?
song. He had a song picked out, Gary. This song is what he had going. You guys take
I
a
was
listen.
hanging with the boys, getting drunk all night at the bar. That's when I decided to leave and head to my car. I was going to drive, but I decided to let Jesus take the wheel. I got a suspended license, so I'm not trying to say
No
jail
insurance.
meal. But for some reason, Jesus driving like shit today.
Some reason.
I look at him and ask Jesus if he was okay.
You all right, Jesus?
He looked back at me and told me he was fine. Shit, if we get caught, Jesus will be doing time.
He's gonna do the time, bro.
Yep.
There. You know?
Hey, Gary,
Yeah.
maybe you can play that every morning on your show as a tribute to Freddie.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe
goodness.
so. And
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be your
I think
opening
you're gonna
line
have-
on the show.
Jesus took the
I
wheel
think
and
you're
the
gonna have to
charges.
Get the radio edit. You're
Yeah.
definitely gonna have to get the radio edit, Gary.
Oh my goodness! I'm gonna make you one tomorrow, Gary. I'm gonna crank you off Freddie Estrada song.
there you go.
I didn't get time today, but yeah, I'm gonna definitely put together some hillbilly shit for.
Yep.
Maybe
For that.
Gary, you get some more listeners on your show. Maybe speak up a little bit around here. You play that every morning, and then maybe Mr. Estrada or whoever his name is, you'd kind of wake up a little bit. I'm tired of being on the radio every day.
Heck
You
yeah.
know? You could get a little sign
You see
outside that Jesus takes the wheel and put it pointing towards your house. I mean, I don't know, put on there. Thank you, Freddie.
Yep.
Thanks for having Jesus take the wheel. You're lucky you didn't kill my daughter or everybody else in the house.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was kind of crazy. I mean, I seen that on Facebook, and I seen Alex's post today, and I mean, how many comments were there today that Alex had on her post? I mean, it was like over 100, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. Lots of them.
Actually,
The bad
she's got
thing is-
94 shares. She's got 94 shares and 65 comments right now.
Yeah, she definitely got it out there.
Commenting, huh?
Yeah. A lot of people.
Oh yeah,
are
we've
sharing.
got everybody sharing it out, bro. We've got
Yeah.
And that's pretty
everybody
much
sharing
what
it
I
out.
ask people to do is just share it out there. Get it going, man. If anything, the guy should at least be publicly shamed, dude. I mean, this is
Yeah.
shameful shit, dude. They killed your fucking dog, dude. Like, come on, man. I'm just saying, if you were a cop, Gary, I would hate to say it, but I think the situation would have went differently.
Oh,
And
no,
that's
no,
not and that's not fair. I'm just saying, if that was Jake Six's house that Freddie Estrada fucking smashed into and killed this fucking animal, I don't think he would have just walked out of the hospital.
Yeah.
So
You probably had to
that's
keep
what
it
I'm
up.
I don't
saying.
even think that he would have walked out of the truck.
Yeah.
Right, he probably wouldn't walk much at all after that. But again, that's the difference between, and that's where I see it as a huge fucking problem.
Yeah. So So I've already apparently I've already offended Jim Bullock. He told me he knows how to do his job. Just let him do his job, and I chuckled. And apparently he's all butthurt about that. And then he accused me of threatening his help and everything. And I never threatened anybody. And so I got news for that asshole. He doesn't want to arrest or jail this asshole for invading my space. Wait till I spend all of my day down in his goddamn office, sitting there with my fucking feet on the chair.
Well, that's it, Gary. They don't understand when it comes to being right. We've got nothing but time.
Yeah,
We're right. We're right. They're wrong. That is the case. Like
Yeah.
it's not made up. I mean, the guy's. Yeah, I mean, this is the pictures. I mean, he's guilty. No doubt about it.
Yeah, how's he gonna get out of that? His big red truck's in Gary's house.
You know, and my son has a video of him when the fire department was pulling him out of the pickup, and they had him on the board. He was crying, "You ought to just kill me, just kill me." So that's fixing to come on next. I'll guarantee you.
Right. Yeah, and you have to. Like,
Yeah.
again, like obviously, I mean, if he's been let off this many times before, I'm sorry, but somebody didn't do their fucking job.
Yeah,
So
didn't do their job.
why would I sit around and wait for somebody to not do their job again? That's just
Yeah.
asinine.
Gary,
you know,
Gary, I'm going to ask you nicely, Gary, can I have that video, please? Oh, please, can
absolutely.
I have that video?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
thank
have Zach
you.
look it up.
Send it to me on Messenger.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean that's just it, dude. And the thing is, I mean, he could hurt anybody. Anybody. And the fact is, it just so happened to your family, you know. But again, I just don't see the justice here. I'm seeing your rights kind of stripped from you a little bit
Yeah.
here, and this guy seems to have more rights than you at this
Yeah,
point.
Since when does this guy's rights to drive his goddamn vehicle drunk and crash into people's houses step on my right to be asleep in my own bed and my dog not even out in the street? You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, Ed, he's the habitual offender. Bring those charges back up again, you people. Yeah, he's definitely a habitual offender. Here's his list of charges that he got this time.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely habitual offender, and that's the problem here, right?
Yep.
And again, like there's a lot of alleged things going on with this guy as well. So,
This guy on the street. I mean, if you get pulled over by the state patrol and you're DUI, you're going to jail. You ain't gonna go to the hospital and get a Band-Aid and then maybe go home. I mean, I've seen lots of people pull off the highway DUI by state patrol, and next thing they're going is handcuffs. And if they're injured, the officer goes with them and handcuffs them to the bed until they're ready to go to jail. Makes kind of no sense to me. I mean, to me, Gary has a case. I mean, I don't know. You could probably go against sheriff's department, Gary, because they didn't respond. I mean, I don't know. This guy gets like a free pass every time, and I don't know how many DUIs he has.
that's what I mean. Like they're sworn to protect your rights. Your rights are definitely violated here. I don't understand the problem. I mean, aside, I'm looking at just the rights violation part of it, not even the criminal side of it. Like,
Who was the accomplice? Who was he accomplice? What? A person who engages in conduct intending to aid another to commit an offense commits criminal attempt if the conduct would establish his complicity under. Oh, hold on.
All right, guys, I'm gonna cut out of here. I gotta go. So keep up
brother.
the conversation. I'm gonna be back on here to check it out, to check out the video.
Okay.
all right, Gary, have a good
Thanks,
night,
guys.
brother. Thank you.
A person who engages in the conduct intending to aid another to commit an offense commits criminal attempt if the conduct would establish his complicity under section 181603, where the offense committed by the other person, even if the other person is not guilty of committing or attempting the offense. Wow, that is worded really badly. That hurts my head to read that.
Yeah, no worries, John. I mean, it's clear he did not have insurance.
I just wanted to know what the criminal attempt was. Like,
I'll get with you sometime, NJ Watchman. I've just been swamped busy, man. So freaking busy. These guys don't make it easy. We just opened up into a couple new areas, and yeah, we've been busy. I'll get with you, brother. I see you texted. I just haven't had time.
oh, do they just tack it on to the felonies? I think they just tack it on to the felonies. Criminal attempt to commit a class 1 is a class 2 felony. What? Criminal criminal attempt to commit a class 1 felony is a class 2 felony. Okay. Criminal attempt to commit a class 2 felony is a class 3 felony. So they just tack it on. I still don't know what this applies to.
It says the repealed it for 7, so I don't know what part of it they repealed.
I think they're just putting charges on the guy to see what they can get stick.
Well,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. This clearly
And I
looks
believe
it's
Carol-
something just to stack a charge.
I believe Carol was the one that actually ended up putting these charges on him, and I mean she stacked them up good. I mean, but again, I got a feeling this guy's just gonna walk. Sadly,
Well, you guys, I live in Rocky Ford, and you know, the police department here, I never had faith in for many years. And then lately, you know, I noticed changes, and the changes are for the good. And you know, you got to understand though, people are listening. The problem that the police department here has is they write a million charges, right? And then the judge just lets the guy go on a PR bond, and it's crazy because, I mean, I had a guy try to beat me up one day in Lahana, and they were going to try to arrest this guy, and by the time the friggin' ink was dry, the guy's back next door again. I'm like, what happened to putting this guy in jail? And everybody's innocent, proven guilty.
Well, again, I think that depends on who you are, on if you're
Right.
really innocent prior to being guilty or if you're guilty prior to being innocent. Because
The
I
problem-
mean, again, we get into situations all the time. GCM with that fight, they hit him with a charge. He was guilty before he was even innocent. Like, he was a victim. He got jumped, but he got harassment and disorderly conduct. Like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't do nothing. He protected himself. He still got a
The-
charge.
The problem I had, guys, is the guy, I was on 911. He's like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to up and kill you. And he sat there screaming at me. And she's like, what did you say? I was like, the dude's going to kill me. He's got a baseball bat. And so when the cops showed up, I mean, he had his baseball bat in his car, and, you know, well, I don't have a bat. And then finally, I don't know what he did. He actually opened up his car door for some stupid reason, and lo and behold, there's a baseball bat. But the guy, I don't know what they did to the guy, because they told me he had to go to court. And next thing I know, I went back to the house, and here's the guy out there friggin' having a party. He's like, come on.
well, the system here is really weird because, you know, I mean, you have to have a victim for a crime. And what I've noticed in this
New
state
Jersey.
is it's always the state versus the person. So I never pressed charges on those people, but that jumped me. But the state did, right? The state
Right.
picked up charges. Now, that guy's still going to court for the assault charges, and my victim's advocate doesn't even get a hold of me or nothing because I'm not needed in the process. The state is the victim.
Right.
That is a problem with the system, especially when you have the right to face your accuser and the state is the victim. Like, and that's the same for any kind of traffic infraction, blah blah blah, where there's no victim, right? But they create crimes out of that shit every day. And I mean, again, this case, obviously there's a victim, and look at how it goes, you know. And again, like my guess is Gary will have nothing to do with this guy's court. Nothing. His victim advocate probably will never contact him and say, hey, he's got court, or hey, this is this, or hey, we need a testimony, or anything. I've noticed that a lot in this state. So I see it as a problem.
Well, look, the things that I see, guys, is you know, I used to live in Aurora, and I seen some crazy crap go on, and kind of from being up there, those guys don't play, man. You beat up your wife for domestic violence, you're going to paddy wagon, you're going to jail, and there ain't no dropping the charges. The state picks it up and takes it. And I mean, I had a guy I worked with, and he screamed at his wife, and next thing I know, it's domestic violence, and he's in jail, and he had to pay a huge fine. He spent like probably 90 days in jail, and he had to pay a fine and protection orders, and he had to go to counseling and everything else. And then you come down here, it's like, oh, I really didn't do that because the lady dropped the charges, and then, you know, or whatever. I mean, and then they walk. And the thing in Aurora is like the guy that was trying to assault me with the baseball bat, man, he'd still be in jail by now. They'd hold him till the day that he had to go to court, and they'd contact me and I could come, say, hey, guy tried to kill me. But down here, it's just crazy. Cause I mean, down by where you're too, I watch your videos and it's like, holy crap. I'm like, you're the victim, but you're the guy that's having something done. And then you're the guilty party. I mean, this doesn't make sense. I mean, I think
it's everywhere too. So we went to Pagosa, that's Archuleta County, right? And so the Archuleta County building is in Pagosa, and we go to Pagosa often because we love the hot springs out there. Now we went in and we asked for a county budget from last year, and these people tried charging us some astronomical amount. They wouldn't even let us look at it or take pictures of it. They were being completely ridiculous. Well, they called the law on us for them not giving us the information, even though we'd talked to them just like this. We played stupid. If anything, we weren't hostile in any form. Well, when we left from there and went walking back to our car, I noticed a police officer running our tag. So I went off on that piece of shit cop. What are you doing running my tag for what? And long story short, after speaking with this guy, he ended up being a assistant chief, and he's running my tags he's running you people's tags to get, he was running some tags to get more information about us. Even though he admitted that we had committed no crime, he sure admitted he was investigating us. Now we ended up making right with that situation. We taught that cop a little bit, and it turned out all right in the end. But yeah, he was most definitely running our plates to gather information about us to find out why we were requesting information from our government. That's fucked.
Well, who's the Vern guy that's on Gary's show? I mean, he's kind of the same way. I mean, I see a guy named Vern. Is he from Aguilar? He's
a board member for Aguilar, Colorado. Yep.
Is there like people? He said something like people are following him around and threatening him. I'm like, is that true? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. I had over a dozen guns pulled on me last year in Aguilar alone.
But
yep.
I mean,
straight to my face. People pulling guns straight to my face, bro. Yeah, I've had we have audio of the town administrator hiring a hitman. This last time I was jumped, that was a hit put on by the government. The government there most definitely initiates violence. We have records of it, but the DA and the sheriff's department refuse to do anything about it because they call it a conflict of interest. It's a conflict of interest to make sure my rights are met.
Even though you give them a body camera or something showing them what happened, I mean, come on.
Yeah, obviously we have evidence of everything, and yeah, it doesn't matter.
Isn't the CBI?
But yet, like Robert, we talked about earlier with the chalking, they have no evidence in the courtroom whatsoever, but he's going through trial. Yet we supply actual audio and a PayPal receipt of her paying for us to have damage done to us, and they act like it never happened.
So how do they get away with that stuff? How do they get away with it down there?
Because the people allow it.
You know what? What's really messed up is
people allow it. That's the system. That is the system. It is not broke. It's fixed.
What I really seen that kind of screwed me up is the fracking water thing. I mean, the augmenting fracking water. I mean, does people know what's in fracking water? It's acid. It's oil. It's like a million chemicals.
We ended up doing an expose on how they feed their cattle that shit out here, dude. And boy, did we make a bunch of enemies then. Another time that I was threatened and everything was all on video, don't talk about the fracking water. It's easier to just act like that's not happening. Because imagine, dude, they're raising these cows. There's no water up there, so they pipe it from the fracking down and into these holding ponds, and then they feed these cattle this shit, and then turn around and sell the cattle to us.
But how does the EPA let them get away?
And from what I seen from the farms that I was investigating, the cattle that they eat, they actually keep separate from those other cattle and feed them water from Trinidad.
But how does the EPA let them get away with this crap?
The EPA is 25 years behind.
Yeah, I
Um,
guess. I mean, I don't know.
honestly, if you look at their standards that they have posted today, I mean, they're not good standards at all. And
So,
sadly, these guys can't even meet those shit standards.
I mean, I see Lori on Gary's show talk about Aguilar, and she talks about Wallsburg. She talks about Rocky Ford. She talks about a lot of places. So do I. Anyways, the thing is don't these people wake up? I mean, come on, guys. You're drinking cancer water. You're eating cancer food. I mean, you probably
No,
have better
no,
life.
they all expect us to do it for them. They
Yeah,
all
well,
expect you to do it and Gary to do it, and wherever you're at, they expect you to do it, right? They expect us to do it. Like I have
yeah, but
nothing to gain. I have nothing to gain, period, by helping Rocky Ford. You know, we're doing this out of just the kindness of our hearts, and a lot of
I
people
don't get
hate us
nothing.
for doing it.
I
Sadly,
mean, I go to city council meeting, they just talk crap about me, in my opinion. I mean, I get like belittled, slandered. I mean, it's just my opinion. I mean, they can take it for what it's worth. But I mean, when people come up to me on the street and they tell me to my face, man, how do you put up going to city council meeting and why do you still go back? I'm like, you know, if it isn't for people like me, Gary, you people, good citizen, everybody else listening, I mean, come on, wake up, space reality. I mean, it's kind of like the Flint, Michigan thing with the lead pipes. It would have went on forever unless the lady would have spoke up.
no, it's still
And
going
look at,
on. It's still going on, Tom. That's the
yeah,
problem. Flint water
yeah.
hasn't improved at all, and that's why you'll never improve this water here, right? The people are the only ones that can do that. Like Aguilar, for example, if 300 people signed a petition that said we want our water filtered, it would get filtered. That's all it takes. Done. But instead, it's been 2 years of battling about how bad the water is versus how good the water is. You see, like that, it's
Yeah,
pointless. We
but
stopped covering Aguilar because they're all ignorant. They're fucking stupid. They don't want to do anything for themselves. They expect everybody to do it for them, and they don't understand it's just that simple. If 300 people petitioned, they would most definitely have to put in a water filtration system, which would give them the best water over here, period. But, you know,
well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I see that, you know, these people need to wake up. Come on. Space reality, it's killing you. I mean, it ain't going to kill you now. It's going to kill your kids. It's going to kill your grandkids, and who knows what. I mean, you guys in Aguilar
and
down there, if you're listening, wake up in space reality. It doesn't take, but like you said,
and that, Tom, that's one thing that I've bumped into is the reality of it is a lot of them are sick. A lot of them are sick. A lot of them are tired, and the rest of them are old. And the kids are uneducated. You know, that you know these let's just say 20 something year olds. You know, they have no knowledge of what's going on or no care in the world about it. So the
well,
ones that are active body able to do something, they're not, and the rest all have their excuses, you know. I mean, I'm not saying they're not valid excuses. Like say, a lot of people are sick, a lot of people are old. When you look at the populations of these places, you know, Rocky Ford isn't quite as offset, you know, all elderly. Like Aguilar's pretty well all elderly, you know. And again,
I mean,
like it's an elderly town. If they wanted shit to be set up for the elderly to operate properly there, it could all be petitioned through the government. And there's most definitely grants to cover everything that they would need. It's just they don't. There's no need in making their prisoners comfortable, you know.
that's what
We've
they are, pretty much, prisoners.
we've found out that, you know, there's way more money than we can even equate missing from Aguilar, and we found out that we're the only ones that care. So I mean, it's
Whatever happened.
that's the problem, right? Is getting people to care. And like you said earlier, until it happens to them, they don't care, and they're not wise enough to understand it is happening to them. So
What's the situation with Sugar City and the money missing from there? Did they ever figure that out?
just write it off. Just write it
Oh,
off.
no.
It doesn't matter. No one
A half
cares.
million bucks?
No, yeah, no one cares. And it's way more than that. It's way more than that, in my opinion. It's been going on for years and years and years. Sugar City brings in just off trash about $500,000 a year, I believe it was. And they're broke. They don't even have $30,000 in their bank account last I seen. So they're broke. Nobody cares. again, it's the same out there. I think a lot of the population's scared. You got your elderly out there. You know,
Oh, there's really no businesses. I mean,
the mayor jokes about how the firemen aren't trained. You know, they do the real thing. They just go burn somebody's shit down. You know,
yeah.
so you know, it's those type of attitudes that make people fearful.
Well,
Like you said, who's next to get burnt down? Don't put my fucking address out there.
yeah, don't say my name. I might have a fire. I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, that's the joke at the city here. It's like, don't say a building or don't say an address because some bitch might burn down the next day. It's like,
Right.
I mean, I've never seen it before. It's crazy. I mean, and you know, I'll say one thing: when we have major fires, the smallest town around us shows up. I mean, Manzanola. I mean, I had a building next to mine catch on fire, and if it wasn't for the Manzanola Fire Department, I think I'd be seeing ashes. I mean, there's a lady there; she put pretty much 80% of the building out. She was sitting in the alley pumping out of a canal, and it wasn't my building on fire; it was the building next door. But I mean, I'd say kudos to Manzanola. I mean, that fire department there, I don't even know how many fire trucks they have, but there's not very many people compared to other cities. And I mean, you see on the news here,
like Lori says right here, she's been threatened. I mean,
No, I've been threatened.
Lori's elderly, right? Lori, you're like old as dust, ain't you? I think. So she's, you know, yeah, and I mean, she's been threatened, and I mean, people she knows personally have been threatened, and I mean, these are valid threats, dude. Like I say, just last year alone, I had a dozen guns pulled on me, dude. Like, and the shit's on video, most of it. So I'm not really a cop caller myself. I don't really see much use for them. They're not going to show up and protect my rights. I know that. So why call them? I'll handle my own business. You know what I mean? But I mean, I could only just imagine. I'm saying if I was 20 years older or 30 years older trying to deal with that same scenario,
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, I'm over 50 years old, and it's like people have no respect towards me. I mean, I go to the grocery store and get spit on in my face, and then it's like, you know, I get told that I'm a, you know, I go to the city council, I complain, I do this and that, and then this lady just spits in my face. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute here, that's assault, lady. Of course, you know, then what do you do? Call the police department, stand there for an hour as the lady walks away, and then what am I going to tell her? It's a Hispanic lady driving a black car. I mean, come on, seriously. I mean, I don't know. It's not like I can hold a lady at gunpoint, but it's just crazy. Like me and you and Vernon and everybody else and Lori and everybody else. It's like, you know, you guys take away our rights as a citizen because we speak up. It's insane. I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, I don't know. I don't. The problem that I see is I go to the city council meeting, right? And it's just me and Gary and a few other people, and I don't go every time. It's just like, but then people bitch on Facebook. I'm like, wake up and smell reality. I mean, if you don't like it, that's your time. That's your time to shine. I mean, go there and say something. Even if you even send them an email or get on their Zoom meeting or send something to city manager or something. Wake up, people. I mean, you have rights. I mean, I don't know. I would say nothing's going to change unless people make it change. That's my whole thing.
Yeah, people do everything, man. It definitely is going to take the people. I mean, we do not have the capabilities to make the changes that need to be made. I mean, we don't mind giving people a platform like yourself to come up here and speak. I mean, I have over 9,000 subscribers just on this channel. You know, I mean, we have multiple other platforms. This platform here, I mean, it was built to give people a voice. Myself, obviously included, and then I linked up with you people, and I linked up with John Denicola and a couple others, and you know, we can get a voice out there. We can make a little ripple, but we are not able to. We don't have the capacity to change this shit, man. As it is, we're taking everything we have coming in, just putting it right back in, trying to help people, and most of them don't even care that we're trying to help, you know, sadly.
Well,
so
that's the thing
I look at it like this, Tom. I got 9,000 subscribers. Could you imagine if just each one contributed $1 to my efforts each month?
You have 9,000 bucks.
I mean, come on, bro, because I'm paying out a lot of money. I shit you not, dude. It costs us a lot of money to do this. I mean, just this platform that we're using right here, this StreamYards, is $45 a month.
Right.
just to have a studio to be able to do this, you know. So
Hey, Gary's got the airwaves. Maybe he can put something out there. You know,
the problem there is censorship. You know, you have
Right,
you have censorship here. I don't have that type of censorship. So, and I mean, Gary, he's most definitely down to help any way he can for transparency. Gary's an excellent guy. I'm glad I ended up crossing paths with him because I mean,
the problem is you guys
he's
can't
one
do
of
it.
them. Yeah, like how do we be there? Like how do I go to one of those meetings? I'm gonna have to pay for a hotel, Tom. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well,
Well, the
$100
problem
at a
is the dates.
cheap hotel.
A lot of them the same day. I mean, it's like crazy. It's like, you know,
All at the same time and shit too, like Lahana and Rocky Ford. I can't. I mean, you people go to one, I go to the other. Like I think they do that shit intentionally sometimes as well. But I mean, I went out there the other day, and I mean, hell, we spent $70 in gas alone, just to travel, right? So imagine if I gotta go to the meeting, I'm gonna stay the night. I mean, I've got $200-300 wrapped up into this shit every time. That's just off the top for the travel. So
maybe you can
this
send
gets
me and Gary.
expensive, man. It really
You know,
is. It gets expensive. It's an expensive hobby. I don't know how long we can sustain this. I mean, we're like I say, we're kind of worn out. I mean, we're putting in everything. We've lost a lot. We've done a lot. We've lost a lot. We've tried to show people the way, and sadly, I don't see too many people standing up to take the reins or trying to even help. Like, I get it. If they don't want to be the face of it, me and you people ain't scared of shit, dude. Nobody scares us. If you're gonna do what you're gonna do, you know what I mean? We're not scared. I understand some people are scared, but why don't those same people that are scared, why aren't they supporting us to be that face out there making the change? And that is where I understand that we're not wanted nor needed. You see what I'm saying? Or people would show their support. We have very few actual supporters, to just being honest.
I can tell you this: a lot of people down here in my area don't even know about you.
Well, and we just broke into that area months ago, and I mean,
you know what?
what we're able to bring, and like I explained to Dwayne when me and Dwayne first started working, we're able to bring eyes. Now, I can't guarantee we can fill that place, but I can guarantee we can get some people in there, and I can guarantee that we can get people running for the seats, and I can guarantee that they're going to get views. Now, Rocky Ford's Facebook meetings are 2,000 views. You know, people are watching. So, I mean, that's all we can do, man. Like, we can't force nobody to do shit. And then, like I say, we're only just the few that we are here. And like I say, we have very few actual supporters we can count on out there. So it's not very sustainable, guys. Just being honest with you.
you know what kind of got to me a little bit. I think it was John or somebody cut in on Zoom, started talking, and then the city council here shut them off. I mean, I don't know. I don't get that. I feel personally as a citizen, it don't matter where you live or what you do or anything like that. Everybody's got their public comment. I mean, if you want to,
well, we're all citizens of the United States, right?
Right.
So it doesn't matter. Like even Rocky Ford, I mean, they're getting state and federal funding. It doesn't matter what state I live in, they're getting my money. I have a say. That's where a lot of people seem to get confused, I guess, because ultimately, Tom, what it takes the committee being put together and growing, you know, actually putting in the time and effort like we do. Somebody out there to form a committee and actually show up at these meetings with their committee, with a mouthpiece, with their ideas collectively put in front of these people, and not just, oh, I live in Rocky Ford, so that's where I'm at. No, hell no. I'm going to La Junta. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to all the surrounding areas in my region, because it takes the region to make my life better. You know what I'm saying?
I see they were trying to get an ethics committee here in Rocky Ford, and you know, I think Nick Martinez might have brought that up, and you know,
right. But my point is, Tom, you don't need the government to do that for you.
Right. You just need the people.
You just need the people. The people do everything. And that same committee is the same committee that's going to petition. That same committee is going to recall. That same committee is powerful. But yet, where are these committees in any of these towns that we're covering? Again, it just shows me the people don't care, man. Sadly, it is the world that we live in anymore. It's just easier. I mean, for me, it's easier for me to just live under a rock, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Like I have what I need. My rights are going to be met. I know my rights. I stand up for my rights. I don't need nobody to protect me. I'm well protected. And ultimately, what affects you there isn't affecting me, but I still
Right.
care. You know what I'm saying?
I
I still
know.
care.
I'm shocked that you guys care because I've lived here I've been here for 30 years and it's like we got to be in the 21st century and wake up. I mean, to me, in my opinion, they don't want change, and I'm like, change is good. I mean, you say we're the brokest city in the county. Well, let's make some changes. Let's not be the brokest city. Let's get those
See the
businesses
problem.
in here.
No, see, the problem isn't that they don't want change. They don't want to lose the convenience. They don't want to lose the security that they've got from just complying. If I
well.
just comply, I'm going to have safety and security. If I just comply with the police, everything is going to be just fine. Just comply. Ignorance is bliss. They don't want the
Yeah.
knowledge. That's just my
the
opinion.
problem. Well, in my opinion, we need change here. We need more businesses. We're losing the kids from the high school to the big cities. I mean, we need some change in our high school. I mean, Gary brought it up, and I kind of agree with Gary there on the show. We're a farming community. Let's teach them in the high school with auto mechanics. Look at Walsenburg. I think they just brought an auto mechanics class there. I seen something about Phil Longford wanting to hire people out of Walsenburg if they went to this auto mechanics class. And you got to keep the kid. To me, to keep the kids, you got to keep them engaged. I mean, if there ain't nothing to do for them, they ain't gonna stay. And if there ain't no jobs for them, they ain't gonna stay. And it kind of sucks when you want something, you have to go to Pueblo. I mean, we have some new businesses in Lahaina, and granted, we have some jobs in Lahaina that pay pretty well. But you got to have change. You got to be up with the society. You just can't sit there on your thumbs and go, oh yeah, they're going to come to me. Because when you say stuff like we're the poorest community in the state of Colorado, do you really think that big businesses are going to come here and invest? I wouldn't. I mean, after hearing that we're the poorest community in the state of Colorado, I mean, I was thinking about opening a business, but if I'm going to be rated the poorest city in the state of Colorado, I mean, I don't want to invest in it. I mean, granted, I don't want to put money into a business that's going to be failing, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's just the problem that I see is the citizens are kind of like passive. I mean, I don't know. And maybe in my opinion, it's a little bit of intimidation, but come on, people, wake up. I mean, it's kind of like going back to Aguilar. The people are just poor and sick. I mean, you got to wake up some days, guys. You got to just learn that, hey, your voice is out there, and we're the greatest nation in the United States. You get to vote. A lot of places you don't even get to vote. I mean, they take your rights away in foreign countries and everything else. So I just don't get it. I don't get it, guys.
Well, and I feel like pretty much I got failed business here, Tom. I got 5 years invested into this, and if this was a business, because I am a businessman, I would be screwed, So
Maybe it could be a nonprofit.
it's just very weird, and even then, it wouldn't help,
No.
I mean, people would rather we eat ramen noodles than them have any kind of interference in their life, I guess you could say, right? Like I say, I mean, just paying for this stupid program, this studio that we're using right now is $45 a month. It's not touching phone bills or any of our requests or the body cams, anything. Like we spend all of our money on this shit, dude. And really, we probably have better things we could invest our time and money into. That's what it's coming to. Like it's become almost a failed business here because it's just the people don't care. I mean,
Well,
unlike Gary, we're not able to take on sponsors, right? Gary has that going for him, right? I would guess Gary probably has the same, really close to same amount of viewership. But Gary's able to take on sponsors. We can't. We can't. There's no sponsors that are going to get behind us fucking the cops up, dude. It just doesn't. It doesn't happen.
Nope.
So
doesn't look good on business when you're trashing cops or government or anything like that.
And I mean, we're set up to where people can contribute in multiple ways. Like, I mean, we got super chats, we got memberships, we've got PayPals and Cash Apps. We've got all this out there, dude, and we don't really get nothing from nobody. It's we have a few good supporters that are there, and it's like that's it. Out of all this time, all this money. I mean, we have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars invested that we're never going to see back, on top of other things that we've lost over this.
Your time ain't free either.
Right. Well, and that's not even touching my time. Exactly. That's just what we spend. I mean, it is ridiculous. So, and I mean, like I say, sometimes I wonder if we got better things we should be doing, man, because if the people don't care, and I mean, that's what we've ultimately been shown over and over and over. The people don't care. I mean, I've been trying to work with Rocky Ford because Dwayne is showing, hey, he cares. He's showing me he cares. Dwayne's not perfect. We'd agree to disagree on a lot of different things, but he at least is showing me he cares. He's making the initiative to come up on the show and try to talk through different issues, right? I think I was trying to get Nick Martinez up here tonight. He was busy, and so was Dwayne. I don't know, but they didn't make it up. But again, I'm trying to work with these people, and you know, that's refreshing that they're trying to work with us, I guess. But otherwise, I don't even think we'd be covering Rocky Ford, to be honest. I mean,
well, the thing that I see that's going around here is it's fee this, fee that. I mean, granted, the city does need money, but in my opinion, and it's my opinion, there's other ways to bring in money. I mean, you can't just depend on the citizens to support the city. I mean, the businesses, sales tax. I mean, I seen the budget. I mean, I walked into the city manager's office and just asked her for the budget. She just went, printed it, and gave it to me. 40-some pages, kind of a little hard for me to read. But the thing is our property taxes don't bring in, but like I think it was $300-some thousand, and most of the money comes from like sales tax and everything else, and you know that's how you're going to survive. You got to get those businesses in. You got to get some sales tax coming in. You got to get something going on. You just can't raise. You can't depend on the citizens to pay all these crazy fees. I mean, I think we got a dormancy fee for water and vacant houses and, everything else. But in reality, all you're going to do is lean those vacant houses out of oblivion. Nobody's going to do anything with them. And in my opinion, the city's going to be responsible tearing them down. I mean, there's other ways to get revenue. I mean, I got a master's in business, and they taught me, the only way you're going to get rich is having a business. I mean, working for somebody else, punch the clock 9 to 5, don't make you too rich. And so,
well, I mean, you can always trick people. I tell you what, man, why do you have license plates on your car? Do you have registration, insurance, and a license?
Pay 'em every
do you have
time.
all that?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you have all those?
Because I conform to the law, because I think it makes me feel good, I guess, because I'm a conforming to the law citizen. But, in reality, I mean, I went to Pueblo yesterday.
Is it not peer pressure, though? Is it not peer pressure a little bit, though, Tom?
It is. I mean, it's pressure on me.
You're definitely smart enough to have read that it's voluntary, right? Like it clearly states voluntarily. So
okay, well, and the reason why I ask. That's why I ask, because if you're conforming to the law, then the law by federal code is that license plates are a part of the Motor Vehicle Theft Prevention Act 42 USC 14171. And it clearly states that an individual motor vehicle owner voluntarily signs a consent form in which, you know, you enter the program. And it says that you have, you know, in this program, you have to display a license plate and program decal, you know, the month, the year, the little decals that you got. But it's supposed to be voluntary.
Yeah, it's clearly states voluntarily in cooperation, you know. And again, but the trickery is so thick, you know, that it is what it is, man. Then you'll get peer pressured.
And it also states right here that you are permitting law enforcement officials in any jurisdiction to stop the motor vehicle if it is being operated under specified conditions, hence the program. So this right here, by you volunteering to get your license plates and your registration and your driver's license, you're giving the state jurisdiction over you and your vehicle. But it's voluntary. But the state would tell you what, Tom? The state would tell you what?
Pretty much it's against the law not to drive without plates, or you're going to go to jail.
Right.
We just proved that in the last video, right? Where we were
I've
pulled
seen that.
over
I've
for
seen
no
that.
reason other than tags.
I seen that video where the cop showed up and you can tell him to leave and he wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
No, but he if you noticed, he kept asking me certain questions, right? To try
Right.
and get to see if I comply or I rank up to what the state says I should. Okay. I'm not a resident of this state. I don't have an address. I am homeless. I do not have an address. Okay.
I'll
I
take
don't-
it even
I-
further. I'm not a person's.
Right. I'm not a person's and
Yeah.
and I'm not a resident. So I can't get a driver's license. Without that driver's license, I can't get registration, hence license plate, blah, blah, blah. So, and therefore, if I'm not in their program, if I don't have their driver's license, if I don't have their registration, I do have insurance on my vehicle, right? But that's because I am a responsible car owner, like you said, Tom.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
Responsible car owner. I got insurance on my car, so that way, in case anything happens, I'm covered, right? That's me being
Right.
responsible, right? But I don't need to be forced into having my car pulled over and me hassled by the cops. That you
Right,
give
that's
them, you give
impeding.
them the consent with
That's
this,
impeding, no doubt about it. What that cop did was impeding. He
right?
stopped us for no other reasons than not displaying tags. And
Now I'll give-
and of course, he didn't want to write the ticket because he knew once we got him in court, that's his ass. So
Okay. And we'll show you 29.10 here. Owner withdrawal from the program. Any owner may withdraw from the program at any time by completely removing the program decal and changing the license plate if necessary. The owner is also encouraged to notify the
encouraged. It's not
participating
mandatory. It's encouraged.
agency in writing of such withdrawal. Encouraged, not you have to because we're going to do something
So
to you.
when we remove the
Encouraged.
plates and the decals and we turn that to private property through a bill of sale, there was nothing else that was needed to be done. And again, he impeded us for that reason only. We're not in that program. So again, like they're breaking the laws and then try to say, oh, this is the law. No, this isn't the law, dude. It's all in writing. People just, it's too hard to educate yourself. So I guess it's like, say, you got the peer pressure and it's just easier to comply.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. To me, since
Nicole's
See,
a
did we-
traveler. Nicole's a traveler. Go back up to
Mhm.
Nicole's comment. She's a traveler. She just got pulled over in Rocky Ford not too long ago.
what happened to
Yeah.
her?
Oh, she's breaking the law.
She's
They
breaking
put
the
her
law
in
and
jail.
she got
They take her
ticketed.
car?
No, she got ticketed.
Yeah.
She actually got ticketed by the state
So,
troopers.
so tell me this. I got a question for you.
So
Guy
now,
running Gary.
now she has a tort claim on those idiots because they should have not stopped her. She wasn't committing no crime. See,
So
you see where the problem lies? They got to deal with crimes and rights, and neither of this they had authority to do anything to her. But yet now she's being called into a courtroom.
let's
to prove her innocence.
let's flip it up a little bit. A guy can drive through Gary's house, goes to the hospital, and gets out. But a lady
Exactly.
driving on the highway gets a ticket. No,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
little fucked up in my book.
Now hold on a second.
That is
Hold
the
on.
way the
Hold on.
reality is.
Hold on, Nicole. Actually, if you actually go to the motor vehicle website here in Colorado, it states that you have 30 days after claiming residency. So
Well, and
it's
it doesn't matter.
after
It doesn't matter because the
you
definition
claim
of
the
persons.
residency.
Nicole already knows the definition of persons. It doesn't matter.
Well, that's not the point. She made the comment of days or has been gainfully employed within the state. No. See, the days only come after you get your residency, which means you would
You're
have
gonna have
to
an address to get
A, get
residency.
an address with a zip code and all that other great jazz, or you'd have to be staying in a shelter and get a letter from the shelter saying, yes, this person lives in our shelter and they're a resident of the state. Now, yes, you can be employed, but gainfully employed does not apply to normal people or normal people. Like that deals with businesses and people who have businesses. So it is,
Hey, guys,
it is a circus, Nicole.
My phone's getting ready to die here. I mean, I like to say one thing. I like coming on your show, and maybe me and Gary can hit you up more and get on here more and maybe talk. I mean, people learn what's going on here. Maybe, everybody else start getting on that. Maybe I don't know.
Well, we encourage more and more people to come up. If citizens of, anywhere that we cover would like to get a hold of us, it's not hard. You people on YouTube, Good Citizen Media on YouTube, Good Citizen Media on Facebook, Joshua Lloyd on Facebook. See, we're not afraid. We're not fucking afraid. So you can find us on many different platforms. You can get a hold of us and you can ask us, hey, can we come up on the show? We will talk to you prior to,
Right.
to do some stuff, but that's what we do. So
I'll be on your show again. Call me out, hit me up. Let's go on the show again. Let's talk again, maybe, and we'll go from
Yeah,
there.
I'll try to give you more notice next time, Tom. I appreciate you coming up such short notice, brother.
Thank you,
But
Tom.
yeah, hey, I think we kind of covered some interesting subjects tonight. I mean, maybe those people out there listen will maybe wake up, guys. Ain't nobody gonna do it for you. You got to do it for yourself. Grow up a little bit. If you don't like it, make the change. Speak your mind. I mean, you got your own mind. You got your own voice. One person, can make a change. It might take a bunch, but you got to band together. And if you don't like something in your community, you can change.
Yep.
So
Thanks, Tom.
thanks for having me on tonight, guys. And I mean, it's been I'm now.
You're roboting, Tom.
I said, hit me up again. Let's talk again.
All right, brother.
We'll do. You have a good
All right,
night,
you guys
Tom.
have a good night.
You too.
Talk to you later. All right, talk to you later.
So yeah, guys, we've been going for about 2 hours, but yeah, hell of a show tonight. I think it had a little bit of everything tonight: drama, suspense, intrigue.
Yeah. If we find time, we'll do it again here soon. We're busy.
Tapatios, my man.
We got to work full time and eat ramen noodles just to bring you the show. Yeah, now. So,
shit.
Yeah, yeah, audience participation at any time. We appreciate you guys all watching. We appreciate all those thumbs up. Everybody's been in here following the story. Again, Gary's situation that's just shitty, I guess. Hopefully, I mean, we'll keep an eye on this guy. Hopefully he'll end up being held accountable, you know. So
Well,
I mean,
and don't forget, you know, just don't forget.
If you're a photographer, you probably already know that you can make a huge difference in people's lives. You probably also know that photography can be a crime. But what if I told you that there is a way to do photography and make a difference without breaking the law? All you have to do is go to this website and check it out for yourself.
yeah.
What's
So
up,
I gotta-
Upstate?
All right. Well, I suppose we'll end it out, you guys. It's been fun.
Yeah.
We'll do it again soon.
Yeah. We'll do it again soon. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming in. Greatly appreciate you. We'll catch you on the next one. I hope this works.
They banished me, never to be seen, to a place where the air's always filled with screams. So hot that the land only grows weeds. A place filled with demons and ghosts, tumbleweeds. Betrayed by some comrades that too brute. I'ma get you all back. It's not if, no it's when. Better watch out, cause I'm coming for revenge. I'ma train hard, I'ma go far. I will learn with every new scar. Got a cold heart, yeah, feeling arc. Enemies give me energy from the start. Got an addiction to winning, so I will work till I get it. The sweat is dripping, I'm in it, I'll never stop till I finish. I'm feeling demons possessing, they took a hold of my vessel. The energy of a devil, yeah.
A new man, a new me. Better watch out, you ain't never seen a beast. I don't always in control, he could be me. Got a chip on his shoulder and he got some sharp teeth.
Anyone in my way, and anyone who betrayed, anyone I have to face, I'll wipe them out like the plague. Fly through the air, if you got a death wish, come outside, don't be scared. Yeah, I'm more than prepared, I've been prepping for this day and now it's finally here. Better watch out, cause I'm back now. New and improved, head filled with no doubts. They let the beast out, I let them feast now. I will be at the top, can't keep me down.
A new man, a new me. Better watch out, you ain't never seen a beast. I don't always in control, he could be me. Got a chip on his shoulder and he got some sharp teeth.
Anyone in my way, and anyone who betrayed,